who's back in your face. It is moi, your best book review artist. I hope you are having a wonderful day. It is so glad to be in your face again with today's episode of our book review. How's your day been? Of course, I know it's been well. Mine has been too. Let's get down to the business of today. So in our last video, we talked about chapter 3, 4, and 5. So today we're going on to chapter 6. And chapter 6 is titled Imagination, the Workshop of the Mind. Imagination is literally the workshop wherein are fashioned all plans created by people. The impulse, the desire is given shape, form, and action through the aid of the imaginative faculty of the mind. Now, there is a saying that things are created twice. First in your imagination, and then second in reality. For everything that we have seen in existence made by man was first of all thought in the mind, and then was, transformed into reality. So, what are you doing with your imaginative power? What are you doing with your ability to imagine? What are you doing with that? So a few points I made from the notes. It says, ideas are everything, but you must act on them. It says, great inventions and methods were first conceived in the mind. Everything that you can think of is possible. But the first place of creation is here. What can you see with your mind's eye? What are you able to create with your mind's eye? What are the things that can come out? Your brainchild. What can your brain birth? Activate your imaginative power today and see what or who you become. On to chapter 7. It is titled Organized Planning and subtitled The Crystallization of Desire into Action. This chapter talks about creating a mastermind. Your mastermind is made up of people, who believe in the vision that you have, who believe in the brainchild that you are about to birth. No one person can create so much wealth or fortune. No one person can accumulate so much wealth or fortune without the cooperation of other people. This is the reason why everybody who has a great idea has to have a group of people he or she refers to as a mastermind group. Now, you mustn't call them a mastermind group. Determine whatever you want to call them, but you must understand what their function or functions are. Now, I wrote down here, I said, decide who these people are, decide what they are bringing to the table, decide what their compensation is. Yes, have frequent meetings with them. Learn to manage them well and ensure that there is perfect harmony. Else, nothing will work. And learn to listen to them. Before you even bring somebody to your mastermind table, you already know that person has something of value to add. So if you don't have the habit of listening when they, give advice, then they would sooner than later walk away from, whatever it is you're trying to build, because you do not value their opinions. So they should have been there in the first place. So value them. Talk about their compensation. Make sure you choose them wisely. You cannot go out choosing. They mustn't be your friends. Yes, because you are about to birth something that will have maybe a transgenerational effect on people and on your community. You cannot afford to bring jokers to the table. You also cannot afford to bring quitters to this table, because you don't need people who will demoralize you. Starting out on any cause is actually not easy. You are definitely bound to meet hurdles along the way. You need people who, are dogged, who don't just wake up and be like, this is not working. Let's just cancel it. You get people who give up easily, you don't need them in your mastermind group. You are free to remove and add people from your mastermind group as it suits you, but you must make sure that it is not a problem with your ego. It is a problem with what they are offering. If it is not in line with what the vision is, you are free to terminate their involvement. And this chapter is also talking about planning. The reason why you have a mastermind is so that you can plan a lot. So that you can, put pen to paper, go to the drawing board, map things out, and see how things can work, and see how ideas can come together to birth this great idea that you have. So I have a few things I noted down here. I said defeat is temporary if we decide that it is temporary. When we fail, the idea most likely is not the problem, but the plan to execute the idea. Change plans, but don't drop the idea. A quitter never wins, and a winner never quits. Lastly, when selecting your mastermind group, make sure you don't select quitters. Replace them once you spot them. I already talked about that a few seconds ago. Remove quitters, you don't need them anywhere around you. Welcome to chapter 8. It is titled Decision, the Mastery of Procrastination. Oh God, procrastination is a big problem. I'll read now. It says, accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that the lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. This is no mere statement of a theory. It's not theory, it is a fact. It goes ahead to say that procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy that practically everybody, including me, moi, must conquer. I am yet to see a person who hasn't procrastinated one task their whole life. One task, one responsibility, one job. Oh God. Uh you know, there are so many things that we would have been, and by we, I mean, you and I would have been if we had not procrastinated. You get some people get to, kill procrastination in their very early in life, while some others get to kill it like very later in life. It is important that the issue of procrastination is like held to the neck and addressed boldly, like, eyeball to eyeball. You procrastination, we're no longer playmates. It can cost you a lot of things to always push to tomorrow what you can do today. There's no winner who has procrastination as a strong positive quality or character. As a winner, as a go-getter, you have to kill procrastination yesterday, not even today, yesterday. Some persons also procrastinate because close family and friends do not believe in the vision that they have. Opinions are the most common commodity one can find on earth. I have someone who I respect so much. He would say, do not value opinions because they can change so fast. There's nobody who would have one or two naysayers in their lives. Oh, I want to start up a toy factory. No, who's going to get toys from you? Nobody buys toys around here. I believe that all the big names that we hear today, that we celebrate today, had a couple of naysayers around them, but they had a bigger yes burning inside of them for the vision that they had. So conquer fear today, conquer naysayers today, conquer critics today, and just have your eyes focused on the prize. Make a decision today to birth your brainchild, and all those naysayers will change their opinions because they've seen how, successful you have become. Chapter 9 is titled Persistence. It is subtitled The Sustained Effort Necessary to Induce Faith. So it says persistence is an essential factor in the procedure of transmuting desire into its monetary equivalent. The basis of persistence is the power of will. This one is how do I put this now? You know, so many people have started out on a certain course, and 2 3 years down the line they just give up and quit, and because they encountered some issues and they just couldn't bear it. But to a made up mind, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Remember Thomas Edison? Always, he kept on trying and trying and trying to give us electricity until he had a breakthrough. So if you're persistent about your goals, about your vision, that thing just has to give way. It doesn't have another choice. But you must stay consistently persistent. You just have to fight your way through. Nothing of value is handed to anybody who is not willing to fight for it. Not even love. So a few things I wrote down here while I was studying this chapter. I says poverty is attracted to the one whose mind is favorable to it. God forbid I am not attracted to poverty. But success will definitely come with persistence. Persistence is based upon these definite cause. 1, definiteness of purpose. 2, desire. 3, self-reliance. 4, definiteness of plans. 5, accurate knowledge. 6, cooperation. 7, willpower. And lastly, habits. So if you must be persistent, you must have all of these things intact. You must have your purpose very defined. You must have a strong desire for what you want. You must be able to rely on yourself. You must have definite plans. What are the plans I'm going to make, or take, the steps I'm going to take to achieve these things? Your habit has to, agree with you. You must have the knowledge you get to the knowledge with which you would achieve this vision. You understand? Sometimes the vision that you have or the brainchild you're about to birth will require that you get some certifications, take some courses, and all of that. What are you doing to achieve those things? That is, all of these things make up persistence. As I round up chapter 9, I would say this: riches do not respond to wishes, they respond to definite plans backed up by definite desires through constant persistence. Yes. So you have to be constantly persistent to be able to achieve your one true desire. If you are fluctuating in your persistence, you are not even sure that you want to birth this thing that you have in mind. So persistence is important if you must accumulate wealth. So chapter 10, it'll be our last for today. Yes. Yeah. So it's titled The Power of the Mastermind. Remember, we talked about mastermind in chapter 7, subtitled The Driving Force. It basically talks about how to, completely harness your mastermind, how to, make your mastermind very effective. So I'd like to just say something. Just one quote I got from the book. It says, when you align with great minds, you eventually become great. When you align with great minds, you eventually become great. So you need to, I can't stress it enough, be careful who you make a part of your mastermind crew. It matters a lot. It goes a long way to determine how much or how far you can go in your accumulation of wealth. So this brings us to the end of today's episode. Somebody who's happy. I am. I hope you have a lot of takeaways from this, review today. Our next review is going to be the last for this chapter, for this book, sorry. I always encourage us to put to practice the things that we're learning. It is useless to learn if you would not even practice. So please, whatever those small dreams and visions and desires are, take baby steps today. Just don't stay stagnant. just don't stay stagnant. Don't stay wondering what people will say. Don't stay in the company of people who won't benefit you. Make a wise choice, of people you want to, your think group. Make a good, intelligent choice of who these people should be. And don't give up. Take small steps today, and it'll turn out great tomorrow. Trust me. So please keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. I will see you next time. Same channel, same person. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.